Welcome to 10-Minute Zuimonki. Dōgen taught, saying, most people who practice the way today when listening to the Dharma are chiefly concerned with showing others that they understand it. While listening, they are already thinking about how to give a clever or satisfactory response. As a result, what they ought to hear and understand passes right by them. This happens because they are poor in the mind of awakening and remain preoccupied with themselves. You should first forget yourself and listen carefully to what is being said. Then reflect on it inwardly. If you discover mistakes or points that remain unclear, bring them forward and discuss them. If, after careful consideration, you are convinced of its truth, then you may place your trust in it. But if your first impulse is to demonstrate that you have understood, you only reveal that you do not truly delight in hearing the Dharma. Today's passage is remarkably short, but it contains an observation about the human mind that is as relevant today as it was in Dōgen's time. Dōgen says that when many people listen to the Dharma, they are not really listening. Instead, they are thinking about how to respond. They want to show others that they understand. They want to give a good answer. They want to appear knowledgeable. As a result, the teaching itself slips past them. This is a simple observation, but if we are honest, we have all experienced it. Someone is speaking, and while they are still talking, we are already preparing our reply. We are not fully listening. Part of our attention is occupied with ourselves. What should I say? How do I respond? How can I sound intelligent? How can I show that I already know this? And because our attention is divided, we miss what is actually being said. Dōgen points to something deeper than a problem of communication. He sees this as a problem of practice. The obstacle is not a lack of intelligence. The obstacle is self-concern. The mind remains occupied with itself. While hearing the Dharma, it is secretly thinking about its own image. This is why Dōgen says that we should first forget ourselves and listen. That phrase, forget yourself, appears again and again in Dōgen's teachings. It does not mean becoming passive or thoughtless. It means setting aside for a moment the constant concern with me. What do I think? How do I appear? What impression am I making? When those concerns fall away, something interesting happens. We begin to hear more clearly. Most of us know what it feels like to be truly heard by another person. It is surprisingly rare. When someone listens without interrupting, without judging, without preparing a counter-argument, we feel it immediately. We feel that they are present. The same is true when we listen to the Dharma. Dōgen is encouraging a kind of listening that is open, patient, and humble. Not listening in order to agree. Not listening in order to disagree. Not listening in order to impress. Just listening. Then he says something equally important. After listening, we should reflect carefully on what we have heard. If something seems mistaken or unclear, we should discuss it. This is important because Dōgen is not advocating blind faith. He is not saying, accept everything you hear. Nor is he saying, never ask questions. Quite the opposite. First listen deeply, he says. Then think carefully. Then investigate. Then discuss. And if, after careful examination, you find the teaching trustworthy, then you may place your confidence in it. This is a very balanced approach. Neither blind acceptance nor automatic skepticism. Neither gullibility nor cynicism. Instead, careful listening followed by thoughtful reflection. What strikes me most about this passage is how relevant it is to our time. Today, we are constantly encouraged to have opinions. We are expected to react immediately. A news story appears and we respond. Someone makes a statement and we respond. A post appears online and we respond. Everything pushes us toward instant judgment. Yet Dōgen points in the opposite direction. Slow down. Listen first. Understand first. Reflect first. The urge to respond immediately often comes from the same place Dōgen is criticizing, the desire to assert ourselves, to make our presence known, to prove that we understand, to demonstrate that we have something valuable to say. But genuine learning requires a different attitude, the attitude of a beginner, the willingness to not know, the willingness to listen before speaking. Zen practice has always emphasized this point. A full cup cannot receive more tea. A mind already filled with certainty has little room for discovery. To hear the Dharma, we must become receptive. We must be willing to set aside our conclusions, at least temporarily. And that requires humility. At the end of the passage, Dōgen makes a rather sharp remark. He says that if our first impulse is to show how well we understand, we reveal that we do not truly delight in hearing the Dharma. That may sound harsh, but I think his meaning is simple. If we genuinely love learning, our first concern is understanding. If our first concern is displaying understanding, then our attention has shifted away from the teaching and back toward ourselves. So perhaps the question this passage leaves us with is this. When you listen to the Dharma, to another person, or even to life itself, are you truly listening? Or are you already preparing your reply? Dōgen invites us to practice a different way. Forget yourself for a moment. Listen carefully. Reflect deeply. And let the teaching speak before you speak. Thank you for listening. Until next time.